Hi, guys. Welcome to another episode of Blockbusting. I am your host, Jay Light. Today, joining me, Maddy Gross.
Hello, that's my real name.
That's your real name. Well, technically, your real name is Madeline, just like how
Yeah.
my real name is Jerry Thomas Light III.
Oh, God, really?
Yeah, there's a reason why we don't speak of it.
Jerry makes sense, though, with your face. Like,
What?
no, you just...
Explain yourself.
Okay, Jerry just seems like a really excited... Like, you have the joke about camp counselor face.
Uh-huh.
Jerry is the camp counselor face of names.
You know what? I think you might be right on that one. You might be right. I can't deny that.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like a Jerry. My dad's a Jerry.
All dads are Jerrys. Sons can't be Jerrys.
Sons can't be
That's
Jerrys.
not...
So what you're telling me is when I become a father, if I become a father, I will revert to Jerry by default.
Yes, you will have a child. The child will get a name, and then you will also get a birth certificate that's like, congratulations, you're Jerry again.
I just don't think that seems right, but who knows? Times change.
Yeah.
Thoughts
You never
change.
know.
We are recording while I'm on the road. We are recording at illustrious my alma mater, Elon University.
Go Phoenix.
Go Phoenix.
You know.
There you go. Maddy is currently a student here. Maddy and I met when she was in Los Angeles as part of the Elon in LA program. She's a comedian currently practicing here in North Carolina, but she will be moving to Los Angeles soon.
Yeah, moving
once she
in
graduates.
February, which is fun and terrifying, but it's going to be good to be out of Burlington.
Yeah,
So.
Burlington, North Carolina is exactly as I remembered it. Boring, full of fast food and chain restaurants.
Yeah, it's great if you like Cookout, which everyone does.
I mean,
but
everyone loves Cookout.
you can only like Cookout. No one likes Cookout enough to live there beyond 4 years. Like
Correct.
That's not enough.
I wish that, if comedy doesn't work out for me, I think I will become a Cookout franchisee and bring it to the West Coast. Because people need to know about Cookout.
They do. In-N-Out is not the same. In-N-Out, you don't have as many options. Like, you want a burger, fries, fuck you, that's all we got.
Yeah.
Cookout, 40 flavors of milkshakes. They make milkshakes that no human should drink.
We'll give you a platter of food for $4.99. You want a burger? You got it. You want a hot dog as your side? You got it.
Yeah, they have, like, chicken nuggets as a side.
Yeah.
And I've never seen that as a side option.
It's amazing. And it blows In-N-Out, Shake Shack, all of that stuff out of the water. I'm a Texas guy, so Whataburger is usually my diehard. But I am a Cookout stan once again after eating Cookout twice in 2 days here on this trip. I'm tempted to go eat it again. I know I'm not going to because I want to go get some pizza from Pandora's Pies, my old favorite pizza shop here at Elon. But
Yours is good. But yeah, you were the first night you got here. You were like, "Do you want to go get Cookout?" And then last night you're like, "You know what? Let's Cookout again. We're just
gotta
doing
get Cookout
again."
It's crazy to be back here at school. We're recording in the Elon television office where it is in a different room than it used to be. And I used to host the game show on campus here. So
Yeah, I used to host Win Stuff.
Win Stuff. Great game show. Makes me miss game shows. I really love game shows. I used to watch Game Show Network all the time as a kid.
Really?
Oh, yeah. That was my TV channel of choice.
I'm trying to think. I think the only times I ever watched game shows were like sick at home. I never didn't like it. I got into Family Feud probably like too late.
Family Feud is great.
Family Feud
Match
is
Game,
amazing.
though. Match Game is the cream of the crop when it comes to game shows, I think. Because it's all celebrities. It's the original celebrity interaction game that Hollywood Squares would later replicate to great success, thanks to Whoopi Goldberg.
My reference for Match Game is just RuPaul's Drag Race Snatch Game, where they have drag queens impersonate celebrities. And I've never seen Match Game.
That sounds great.
I've only seen the drag queen version, so anything I'm trying to imagine is probably better than the original. Maybe.
It might be. I mean, I've only watched a
Gayer,
couple
for sure.
episodes of RuPaul's Drag Race, and they really do. They bring it every time. So I can imagine them bringing it to celebrity impersonations as well.
Oh yeah, when I had a radio show, it was literally just discussing RuPaul's Drag Race like we were sports announcers.
Yeah.
Like that's what it was. But in North Carolina, that's considered profanity, mentioning that gays exist. So we had to be on air after 10 p.m.
Oh.
Yeah, not kidding. I
Wow.
cannot wait to move. It's gonna be good to get out.
It's profanity to mention that gays exist.
Yeah, they were like, "Well, this is profane content." Like,
oh my
really?
God.
Dudes in dresses is considered. Well, it's North Carolina.
Wild.
So.
Well, let's get to the box office.
Speaking of profane
Speaking of
content.
profane content, there's probably some stuff in here that they don't like here in North Carolina. Now, we are currently recording on East Coast time, so unfortunately we don't have the full estimates for the weekend, but we do have Friday estimates here. And it looks like Thor Ragnarok is going to be taking the box office this weekend. Based on Friday alone, it earned about $46 million. Almost 47 million, 46.8 million just on Friday. So it's going to top. It's going to top this thing. It's heading towards what they're estimating here at Box Office Mojo is a $115 million plus opening.
I'm not surprised because it's Marvel. Isn't that the movie that we were standing outside and someone that lived in my apartment building just kind of yelled to me like,
go see that movie.
Hey,
it's great.
Go see Thor. Just guerrilla marketing.
It's great. It seems great. It's the only Marvel movie that is an outright Marvel movie in many years that I've wanted to go see. I mean, I saw Deadpool, but that's Sony Marvel. It's not Disney Marvel. I fell off the Marvel franchise films basically after Avengers.
Yeah.
I fell asleep during the Avengers.
Really?
Yeah.
I saw that in 2000. When did it come out? I want to say like
2012.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
12. I was right.
I saw that. We saw that at South Point.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
I was still in high school when that came out.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay. Maddie, we've already established many times over this trip that Maddie is a full 6 years younger than I am.
Yeah,
and it feels weird.
Yeah, I'm 21 and I've had to. It's weird for me too. I have you're an adult person staying on my couch and you're probably less adjusted to a level. There's a level of dirt that you're okay with when you're 21 that I think stops after you graduate.
This is a thing about your couch that I noticed over the course of my time staying here. I'm too long for your couch.
No.
I didn't realize until the second night. And then I woke up and my legs had naturally extended over the edge of the couch.
Well, that's comforting. Did you see the stain?
On the duvet cover? The
no,
Tide Pod
no,
stain?
That's a Tide Pod stain. That's a clean stain. I'm talking about the couch stain.
No.
No, it came with the couch. So it's a mysterious origin story.
Kind of like Thor Ragnarok.
Kind of like Thor.
Tying it back.
But yeah, there's just a random bleach stain. I assume whatever it's covering is something worse.
I'm going to hope that it's bleach. This is an interesting little bit of numbers they have here on Box Office Mojo. So, as far as where Thor Ragnarok falls in the Marvel Cinematic Universe canon, it's pretty far down as far as openings. You know, Avengers: Age of Ultron had the biggest preview opening. Avengers had the biggest opening overall. Thor Ragnarok is it looks like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 7th in preview openings, and it looks
it's 7th.
And it looks like it's probably going to be 7th or 8th in terms of total opening after Iron Man 2. The lowest total opening out of the Marvel franchises is The Incredible Hulk, which I can see.
Did they already have Mark Ruffalo by that point?
No, this is when it was still Edward Norton.
That's weird to think about.
Only a few years removed from American History X. Imagine
odd.
Your agent going, you know what, we got to make you more likable because people are still associating you with either beating up people in parking garages or being a Nazi and curb stomping people.
Yeah.
So let's turn you into a giant green monster.
Yeah, you don't help Anger Monster. That's what's going to make people like you again.
I can't, frankly, imagine what the Marvel Cinematic Universe would currently be like
It was still
if Edward Norton was still the Hulk.
Just replace. Nothing changed about any of the movies. It's just Edward Norton instead.
It would have the self-seriousness of the DC universe, I think. Because Edward Norton is a very serious actor. The only time I've ever seen Edward Norton doing comedy that I can really recall was in Moonrise Kingdom, Wes Anderson's movie. And he was great in that.
He's also in Sausage Party.
Yeah, but that's his voice.
It's his voice,
it's
but still.
Save that heat. We'll get to Sausage Party. Let's cover the last little bit of the box office here before we move on, and we'll move on to some news. So it looks like A Bad Mom's Christmas is going to earn It's earned 5.5 million as of Friday, and they're estimating that we'll get a weekend total of around 15 to 16 million dollars.
It's out. Bad Moms
Yeah,
Christmas is out.
yeah, just came out.
It's November. I don't. Also, I saw Bad Moms and I liked it more than I care to admit. I don't have any children. I have no excuse. I just
Yeah, but Bad Moms is sort of in like the Bridesmaids, Girls Trip vein of movies, where you don't have to
Yeah.
have kids to enjoy it. Just like you don't have to be married to enjoy Bridesmaids, or be getting married to a terrible man to enjoy Girls Trip.
exactly. Yeah, that's fair. But
Yeah. For some reason, Jigsaw and Tyler Perry's Boo 2: A Medea Halloween are still performing okay at the box office. Jigsaw on Friday earned $2 million. Boo 2: A Medea Halloween earned $1.2 million. They're still out there. They're still kicking. Doesn't make sense. I don't get it.
I just it's weird. It's November and they're on this list is a Christmas movie and 2 Halloween movies.
And there's still some more Halloween movies in this. We've got Geostorm at number 5, which isn't really a Halloween movie so much. It is horrible.
The only
how
thing
bad
I know
it's out.
about Geostorm is that Gerard Butler tried to inject himself with bee venom for some reason, and then whoever was supposed to give it to him gave him like 10 times the dose, and he had an allergic reaction to it.
For Geostorm?
Yeah, not for the movie, just while he was working on it. Like, Geostorm was in the title of the article somewhere, but I was like, oh yeah, Gerard
Butler got injected by bee venom.
Yeah.
Gerard Butler
OD'd on bee venom.
realized how bad this movie was going to be and tried to kill himself with bee venom. More at 11. Number 6 on Friday was Happy Death Day, earning $786,000. Number 7, Thank You for Your Service, our latest run of war movie propaganda, vaguely veiled kind of shit. Blade Runner, kicking around, still in the top 10. I'm impressed,
Hell yeah.
frankly. I still have not seen Blade Runner, and I was worried that it was going to be out of theaters before I could, but it looks like it's still clinging to life.
Yeah,
So I got to
not
figure out
seen
when
it
I
yet.
can go see it.
Still meaning to.
Probably see it this week when I'm in Austin, because I have 2 days in Austin, so I get a little bit of time, a little bit of a breather. Only the Brave, the firefighter movie, coming in at number 9 on Friday, and then closing it out with Let There Be Light, which looks like a Christian movie.
Let There Be Light could also be your future comedy album title.
Oh, you're right. You're
It's
so
not a good joke, but it's a
so
joke.
right. Kevin Sorbo. Oh yeah, this is definitely a Christian movie. Let There Be Light. Let's find out. It was released last weekend. It has earned about $2 million or $2.8 million. Excuse me, and it is Let There Be Light movie. After a near-death experience, the world's most famous atheist must reinvent himself to save his family and his soul.
Oh no!
You know, you can go see this movie here near you if you want to. It's playing at the Stone Theaters Park, West Village, 14. You can go see what's up with the world's most famous atheist.
You can.
I guarantee that it's some
Is he
talk.
famous
He's
for
like
that?
playing a talk show host. He's got to be playing like a smarmy Bill Maher type.
Yeah, or like a radio guy or something.
He's like, I don't believe in God because God is a dum dum. Don't you agree? And then God's gonna shoot him down with a lightning bolt. That's what's gonna
He's
happen.
like, you're a dum dum. I've been here all along. I can hear you sinning.
You know, I think that these Christian movies that keep coming out would have more clout if they were able to land Morgan Freeman as God.
That would. Oh, I would pay to see whoever
Yeah.
the lead actor is in Let There Be Light. Who'd you say it was?
Kevin Sorbo from the Hercules television series fame.
Oh my God!
from when
that's
you were
right.
before you existed, I think.
I've like heard of it, but
Yeah.
I've obviously never seen that. But
That was
my
around
God.
when I was a child.
Morgan Freeman versus Sorbo.
I would love, Morgan Freeman as God should be standard in any movie now. I mean, he's the definitive God.
Yeah.
You can't deny that.
When he dies, it's gonna be a hard time.
Hmm.
Because then, like, can you kill God? That's gonna be.
Who do you think's people are gonna take it harder for when they die? Morgan Freeman or Samuel L. Jackson?
Oh my God. Oh,
That's the toughest call I think I've ever had to
That's-
make on
that's
this
so hard.
podcast.
Here's the thing. I feel like Morgan Freeman, when he dies, I almost said if. That's how much I almost said if.
I mean, if he's God, then he will never die.
Yeah, but when
Every
Morgan Freeman dies,
every year Morgan Freeman ages, he just gets another pockmark on his face.
yeah, he just gets another freckle, and that's just a piece of soul that he has for wisdom.
Yeah.
But I feel like when he dies, he'll just peacefully ascend and like somehow gift us all with more knowledge from his position in the heavens, and then like Samuel L. Jackson will go out fighting. Like that man, I can't imagine dying. Like he's just gonna call death a motherfucker.
Yeah. I think I will personally be sadder when Samuel L. Jackson dies. Because I think he's done more iconic movie roles than Morgan Freeman has.
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, Snakes on a Plane, one of the all-time greats. So, let's get to some news, shall we?
We shall.
There's a couple fun things we're going to hit first. Oh, boy. Disney unveils their official cast for The Lion King. It's coming to us straight from Uprocks. Great cast.
Star-studded as hell. Isn't it like Donald Glover's Simba?
Yeah, Donald Glover's Simba, we knew that already. And James Earl Jones is coming back as Mufasa,
Yes.
which is freaking perfect as far as I'm concerned. We also have the biggest get, of course, is Beyonce as Nala. Now that
is huge.
The Bayhive is super happy about this.
Everyone's calling it Beyonce's Lion King now.
Yeah.
Which is like, are they going to rewrite it for Nala now?
I hope not. I mean, I love Donald Glover. I think Donald Glover was the perfect choice for Simba. It's an excellent call, and I just can't wait for him to be king. Lion King reference. Other calls include Chiwetel Ejiofor as Scar, Alfred Woodard as Sarabi, John Oliver as Zazu. Great,
I'm so excited
great
for that.
casting. John Connie as Rafiki. I don't know who that is. Eric Andre as Azizi, one of the hyenas.
That is a hilarious casting choice to me, in a good way.
We've got this, I think, is also a really huge get. Billy Eichner and Seth Rogen as Timon and Pumbaa.
Yes,
now
I saw that.
Amazing. Amazing cast.
That's so good.
I did not ever see, did you ever see, because this is directed by Jon Favreau, and he did the live-action Jungle Book. So, did you ever see the live-action Jungle Book?
No, I did not.
Okay, I never did. I heard it was great, and he's directing this, and it's supposed to come out in 2019, and I think I actually will go see this in theaters.
Oh yeah, I absolutely want to see this in theaters.
I want to see what he does.
I want to see it on a bigger screen, and I want to I feel like there's going to be some great crowd participation, because who doesn't know these songs by now?
Yeah.
Like, if Beyonce is involved with it and Donald Glover, like, you're getting a Childish Gambino and Beyonce collab.
Yeah,
for free.
Childish Gambino, and not just any Childish Gambino and Beyonce collab, a PG-rated Childish
Exactly.
Gambino and Beyonce
It's
collab. This is fun for the whole family.
This is truly the best thing. This is what our country needed right now.
This movie is going to win all of the Grammys. It's going to win all the Oscars.
This movie might EGOT. Just this movie.
It could. I don't know where it's going to get its Emmy.
I don't know where that would happen, but
they'll find a
figure it out.
way. This could EGOT the whole movie.
They'll be like, honorary Emmy just for the sake of this.
Yeah, I don't know how it's going to get a Tony either, but
still going to work it out.
You know, the Lion King franchise has come very close to. I think that might actually be one of the only franchises in film history that has an EGOT, which I'm going to look up right now. For those of you who don't know, EGOT is the acronym for Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony. So it's a very coveted set of awards to win. So let's see, EGOT winners. 4 nominations. No, this is some stuff. I don't really give a shit about any of this. Lion King? Nope. Doesn't look like anything.
How would Lion King have gotten an Emmy? The franchise. How would that have gotten an Emmy?
TV show.
There was a TV show. Wait, yes, there was.
Yeah.
Timon and Pumbaa
There's
had
a Timon and Pumbaa TV show.
and I used to love that show.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel disrespectful as a person for having forgot that.
Let's see.
I'd like to apologize to Seth Rogen and Billy Eichner myself.
How dare you?
That's such a good casting call. Oh my god.
This movie is going to finally get some good stuff. I honestly, you know what? I think that this movie could be a push for the Academy to finally start recognizing voice acting as a category.
It's not?
No, voice acting is not a category in the film. In the whole oeuvre of the Oscars, there has never been a voice performance Oscar. Which people freaked out about.
If this doesn't change it, this will at least start some kind of conversation about it. Because how are you going to look at this cast and go like, yeah, none of them deserve that?
Well, the conversation, I would say, has been started since Andy Serkis from his performances in the Planet of the Apes movies and the what's it called? Lord of the Rings.
I know who you're talking about now. I don't know why, but in my head I spelled it. I didn't spell it how
You spelled it
Yeah, I spelled it like
CIRCUS.
da, 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 da. Comprehension a little slow on the uptake sometimes.
It's
but
right. It's the morning.
I got it.
I get it.
It's morning, but my brain thinks it's actually like noon because of daylight savings.
Mm-hmm. Now let's go. Speaking of franchises that are award winning, next one. Tyrese threatens to leave the Fast and the Furious franchise if The Rock returns.
Why does everyone have beef with The Rock?
Well, it's not everybody. It's really just Tyrese. Tyrese has been super mad. Tyrese and The Rock have had a publicized feud that we have covered on this podcast before. They are so mad, specifically Tyrese. Tyrese is so mad that there's going to be a Hobbs and Shaw spinoff from the Fast and the Furious franchise that The Rock is going to be in before they do Fast and Furious 9. So this feud has been escalating for a couple weeks now. And the latest twist, according to Uprocks, occurred on Tyrese's Instagram, where he said he will leave the franchise if The Rock returns for the 9th Fast and Furious movie, which is due out April 10th, 2020. If you mess with family and my daughter's survival, I mess with yours. And this is his
survival.
This is his direct comment. First of all, Tyrese, we know that your daughter does not need another Fast and Furious movie to survive. You're getting
your
crazy
family is
residuals.
Scraping by, but
Yeah.
this is the one that'll make you hit it big.
Don't
act
like you're not insanely rich already.
Yeah.
Just because there's not going to be another Fast and the Furious movie.
8 movies.
We're not going to
I'm
get to
still
10.
scraping pennies.
We're not going to get to Land Before Time levels of sequels. I am out. This is his direct comment. Hello, world. Hello, loyal fans and loved ones from our Fast universe.
Our capitalized?
All caps.
Oh, thank God.
And he spells Dwayne Johnson's name wrong the whole time. I am sorry to announce that if Dwayne is in Fast 9, there will be no more Roman Pierce. He also spelled his own character's name wrong. He spelled it P-E-I-R-C-E. If you're trying to claim that you know how to be in this franchise, you should spell your own character's name right.
That's not...
You mess with family and my daughter's survival, I mess with yours.
What is this, Taken?
Close your eyes, dude. You're a quote-unquote clown.
Not even just calling him a clown, but clown in quotes feels like a Trump tweet of an Instagram comment.
Guess what? It gets worse. Hashtag candy ass bitch made.
No!
All my real one. Men on integrity. My real ones out here. Stand up.
How are you
Also all caps.
You can't call The Rock a candy ass bitch. He started as a wrestler.
The Rock is not a candy ass bitch.
He started as a wrestler. Have you seen that picture of him in like 90s or 2000s?
Oh, yeah.
With the fanny pack also and the turtleneck. Like he's
I can smell what The Rock is cooking and it's not candy.
It's not candy. He's dressed in the most candy ass bitch outfit possible and he still looks vaguely threatening, but also kind at the same time.
Yeah.
You can't.
Folks that GP to the gym and get big naturally. Hashtag no juice. Hashtag no OJ. Spinoff, huh?
Oh no, there were more.
More hashtags. It's not even done.
It's like
spin off these nuts. Selfish
no.
champ.
Spin off these nuts sound like
spin off these nuts.
Sounds like a bad fidget spinner.
Oh my God. Spin off these nuts sounds like a line he took from a porn.
Oh no. Now
yeah, spin off these nuts, bitch.
Oh God.
Pause. Notice who's got his arms around my shoulder and who's standing alone. Hashtag our children matter.
You can't start a blank blank matter hashtag for Fast and Furious. That's not.
Yeah. He also posted a video where he claimed that The Rock is on steroids. Tyrese is having a gigantic mental breakdown right now.
The Rock was in Moana. The man can do whatever he wants. Like, he was just in like a adorable children's movie, and you're gonna fight him?
Yeah, Tyrese is doing nothing besides the Fast and the Furious franchise movies. What else is Tyrese in?
Whole career, I can't name.
If it weren't for the Fast and Furious, Tyrese would not be in anything besides direct-to-DV bullshit that you're gonna get at the Pilot gas station. By the way,
Red box.
the DVD selection at Pilot gas stations, I must plug, on this road trip, I have noticed, pretty fucking solid.
I've never looked at those.
You should.
But
They got some good ones. Underrated. Because truckers got to watch movies when they're waiting. Truckers got to watch movies while they're hanging out with their lot lizards.
watch movies on what?
Truckers have very fancy cabs. They can probably pop out one of those little pocket DVD players. All right, let's get to, now that we've covered the fun news, let's get to the dark as fuck news. This week in Hollywood Rapists.
I feel like there should be a theme song for this by now. This could be recurring.
There should be. We've been covering this for a month. And this week, this is the first week we're not going to be, I mean, we'll talk about Weinstein, of course. But first week, we've got a big new set of allegations against a big-time star. This one coming to us from the Hollywood Reporter, the most recent set of news. Netflix severs ties with Kevin Spacey. So
I knew that was going to happen. The second I saw the Anthony Rapp article, I was like, House of Cards is getting canceled by the end of today.
So last week, right after I recorded, Kevin Spacey was alleged by actor Anthony Rapp from Broadway fame. He was in Rent. He's on the new season of the new Star Trek show on CBS. Was alleged to have been assaulted by Kevin Spacey at age 14 when Kevin Spacey was 26. The week since then has been bananas because Kevin Spacey, first of all, made the mistake of choosing that time to come out as gay and try and deflect that.
That was such a
bad call.
There's like a Billy Eichner tweet that was like, I think it was Billy Eichner's tweet, but it was like, Kevin Spacey just invented something, a bad time to come out.
That's Billy Eichner. I don't know. There's no way that he had any connection with his publicist about sending out that tweet before he did.
I can't imagine.
There's no PR rep in Hollywood that would be thinking, how we can solve the fact that people are alleging that you molested a 14-year-old. Let's tell everybody that you're gay and you're confused.
In my mind, like if there was a PR person involved, this is how it worked in my imagination, is that Kevin Spacey was like, "Hey, you seeing these articles about me?" What Anthony, or he didn't say anything. He's like, "Hey, you seeing what happened? I'm kind of being called a sexual predator and stuff." And the publicist is like, "What happened?" He's like, "Well, he was only 14." And the publicist is like, "Whoa, he? I have a new plan, and liberals are gonna love you." Like that is not. You can't just come out as gay and expect everyone. Did he think everyone was going to be like, "Oh, well now it's fine.
Of course.
Oh, you should have started with that." Like, no, that is less.
Well, because there's more allegations coming out from other people who were allegedly assaulted by Kevin Spacey when they were in their teens. This is something that he has done for years. It sounds like, just like every other person who has allegations stacking up against them.
Yeah, surprise! It wasn't just one time.
It wasn't just one time.
It wasn't like, oops, I was a bad person, just a terrible person one time once.
No, I'm gonna be terrible until I get caught.
Yeah.
And that is how this entire series has played out over the course of this week. So multiple allegations are starting to stack up against Kevin Spacey. House of Cards suspended production and fired Kevin Spacey from the show. Netflix also canceled a movie, a biopic about Gore Vidal that they were going to have Kevin Spacey star in.
I think that was already in post-production.
Yeah.
Which is
no longer happening.
Yeah.
Now, since then, Kevin Spacey's reps have released a statement saying that he was, quote-unquote, taking the time necessary to seek evaluation and treatment. But since then, there have been more allegations. House of Cards employees said he was a creep. A production assistant recalled Spacey putting his hands down the assistant's pants without his consent. This is all courtesy of the Hollywood Reporter, by the way. The House of Cards team, it looks like they're going to try and find a way to move forward without Kevin Spacey's involvement, which is
just make it about Claire Underwood.
I mean, they should.
That's what I'm saying. But,
the uncertain future comes after 2 episodes of the 6th and final season had already been shot. And writers are actively reworking the final season, which is almost entirely written already to write Spacey out.
Oh, no. Oh, are they going to kill him?
I mean, they're probably going to have to. And that's going to be the most watched TV episode of
That's
all
gonna
time.
be so satisfying. That's closure for like all these people.
They're going to watch Kevin Spacey
They
die.
get to watch their assaulter die.
Well, you can watch that in American Beauty too.
Yeah, you could. You could go back in time and watch what he looked like when he didn't die. So that's, I mean, it's not the same as like, actual justice for victims of assault, but
Mm-hmm.
if you have any dark fantasies, you can watch that happen on screen.
Yeah.
That helps. We had to watch American Beauty for a class I was in like just 2 weeks ago, like really recently. And I made a crack about like, guess we're not watching that in class anymore. And my professor had not heard the news about Kevin Spacey, so I had to explain it to him. Very uncomfortable.
God, I mean, this is the other thing too. We've been talking a lot lately about how all of this stuff is basically an open secret. The Weinstein stuff has basically been known for a while, but not to the extent that everything is coming out now. I mean, according to this article in the Hollywood Reporter, now more than 70 women have come out against Kevin Spacey. Last week,
70 women?
70 women against Harvey Weinstein.
Oh, okay.
That's what I meant. Did I say I said Spacey.
Yeah.
I meant Harvey Weinstein. 70 women have come out against Harvey Weinstein. Over 300 women have come out against James Toback. And currently, Brett Ratner, director, producer, has been alleged of sexual misconduct by 6 women. And more are coming out. Kevin Spacey allegations are stacking up. Allegations against everybody are stacking up. And spreading outside of just the entertainment world. But the entertainment world is the catalyst for this. But the thing is, people knew about Weinstein. People knew about Brett Ratner. People knew about James Toback. And people definitely knew about Kevin Spacey. I remember reading a story about Kevin Spacey during all of this past week. And somebody, I guess, on a set somewhere was talking about how they were going to work with Kevin Spacey. And they said, oh, man, I'm surprised Kevin Spacey's not in jail by now.
Damn.
He's a pedophile.
Yeah, well, he probably should be in jail. I'm personally, like, saying I'm glad that these things are happening sounds fucked up, but, like...
But I know the sentiment, because that's how I feel, too.
These things have already been happening. It's not like, oh, and just in this past, like, just in the 2 weeks that the news has come out, that's when Harvey Weinstein assaulted all 70 of these women. Like, no, this has been happening for years. Just now, he's starting to get actual pushback for it. Maybe, I think I saw an article, like, NYPD is building a rape case against him.
Yep,
which
NYPD
is
officially building a case against Harvey Weinstein.
Not awesome that happened, but awesome that there's a case.
Right, because there needs to be a case.
Yeah.
This stuff needs to come to light, and this stuff needs to find resolution. Because I've been saying this for weeks, and I'm going to keep saying it, and everybody else in the entertainment industry should keep saying it too. There needs to be a sea change.
This is, especially as a woman, this is amazing to watch. Like, oh my God, men might actually be afraid. Now people might start to be like, oh shit. Like, if you just shouldn't assault people because you should be a good person and respect other people. Like, I have a daughter. I have, like, I know
I have
a girl.
A wife, I have a daughter.
You should just respect girls because they exist as humans. But, and men too. Clearly, we're getting some exposure on male victims from the Kevin Spacey side of things.
Mm-hmm.
But like, now there are probably men that haven't even been accused yet that will start to be accused in the coming weeks that are so terrified right now, and that makes my soul so happy.
Yeah.
And maybe this will stop some people from being dicks in the first place.
I know.
Like, if being a good person won't keep you from doing it, maybe, like, I don't know, mass media attention for being a dick will stop you. Whatever keeps people safer. If you're that bad of a person in the first place, I'm just happy with how many powerful men are terrified right now between, like, all the government indictment stuff going on and all the assault charges coming to people. This is a good time.
It is a good time to be somebody who's not a person in power who got there by not just by stepping, by coming on the backs of people, of innocent people. Ah, man. Stay tuned. I mean, keep talking about it. Keep talking about this. Keep it in your mouth. Keep it in the news, because the more allegations come out, and the more that this whole sexual harassment issue keeps at the top of the trending charts and keeps on the front page of every news channel, the more change is going to happen. And the more change for the better is going to happen. So keep talking about it, folks. Let's get back to the big point of this podcast, which is talking about a movie that my guest hates.
Yes.
Maddie Gross hates a movie that I actually do enjoy quite a lot. Recent weeks have had a lot of movies that I either didn't like or unfortunately have not seen. But this is one that I watched kind of on a lark. Really thought it was funny. The media thought it was funny too. Got good reviews. But Maddie Gross hates Sausage Party.
I do.
Maddie! Oh,
I do
God.
hate Sausage Party.
This is such a shame. For those of you who haven't seen Sausage Party, it is a 2016 computer animated comedy film directed by a couple of dudes, written by Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg, based on a couple other people like Kyle Hunter and Ariel Shafir. Now, you might remember this movie as the movie set at a grocery store where it's about food and it's an R-rated comedy about food.
First full-length R-rated animated anything. I almost said animated comedy, but I think it's the first R-rated full-length animated.
Yep, first CGI animated film to be rated R by the MPAA. The last time an animated movie was rated R was back in the 70s with Fritz the Cat. It was released in 2016, received positive reviews from critics. Many praised the film's humor, animation design, voice acting, screenplay writing, and direction. Became a box office success, grossed more than $140 million, and yet, Maddie, you hate this movie. Why?
First of all, I think there's a story. So the first time I saw it, I watched it yesterday to get ready for this, and I made myself watch it yesterday. And I hated it slightly less, but I still was like, I can't.
So tell us the story first.
So the story of when I first watched it was over the summer in LA. And I was staying in Oakwood, as one does in LA. And there was a bunch of other people staying in Oakwood, other Elon students, and we were all sitting in this room, and we were like, oh, let's watch a movie. And then usually there's a discussion of what movie should we watch. This time, no discussion, just a frat boy jumps up and thrusts Sausage Party upon us. Nobody asked. He didn't even say we're watching.
No pun intended.
No.
Thrusting his sausage into you guys' face.
Thrusting his Sausage Party, yes. There was no discussion. He just got up, typed it into Netflix, and was like, this is what we're doing. And there were like 10 people in the room, more people than should be in an Oakwood. And like 2 people in the room were like very religious girls that are like not people you should. It's like watching Sausage Party with your parents, except they're also 21. Like, it was not. I ended up making a group chat with like 3 of the people that were in the room just because they were like, I can't watch this. I kept looking over the whole time at the 2 girls that I knew were like even more uncomfortable than I was. Like, it's pretty hard to make me uncomfortable, but like during the food orgy scene at the end, everybody was like, someone was like, who wants to go outside and have a smoke? So people went out on the porch, and then like 3 kids that don't even smoke were outside. They were just like, I just don't want to be in there. And then I found out yesterday that I didn't even watch the ending of the movie because I just left at the orgy part. But from a real criticism standpoint, they bring up some interesting stuff about religion and then kind of drop it. They're like, hey, is it worthwhile to believe in something you can't see, or is that dumb? And then they're like, fuck it, we're gonna have food fuck each other. Like, you almost had it. It's so frustrating. You almost had it. There's like some casual food racism that people are like, well, this is fine because they're not people, it's food. But it is still people. People are the ones who made movies and voiced that. Like, no, it's not actually a bagel or lavash. Those are people, and that's just racism.
So let me ask you this: it sounds, first of all, this is I'm hearing a lot of the things that you don't like about the R-rated food comedy are things that make it an R-rated.
I know.
Food comedy.
I don't know what I expected.
What did you expect from watching Sausage Party?
I don't know what I expected. I've loved stuff that Seth Rogen has done before. This is the end. It was great.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what R-rated food comedy. I was like, okay, we'll just say fuck a bunch of times. I was not expecting to see a Lavash eating a bagel's ass at the end of the movie. Because yesterday I did make myself sit through the entire food orgy scene, and there's just like so many times that they were like, we're just gonna throw in some food fucking jokes.
There's a lot of food fucking in
whole lot
that
of
movie.
So much.
I didn't expect that.
So much.
When I saw Sausage Party for the first time, I did not have great expectations at all. And I had read that it was a pretty decent movie. I watched it and I was like, this is going to be, it's just like some bullshit. And I watched it and I laughed a lot. And I think it nailed sort of like the Disney kind of vibe, but, and twisted the knife very well in that. That opening song.
Oh, the opening. I was worried when I saw the opening song. I was like, oh, are there going to be songs in this? Is this going to be that kind of deal? It was just one song.
Right.
But no, the song I actually thought was funny. How they're like, we're pretty sure nothing bad happens to food. We're positive everything's fine. But no, I feel like they just had a story. Like they had such a good potential story, and then they were like, but what if? It's like someone had a really good screenplay, and then someone else came in and drew dick jokes all over it. And then they were like, and this is what we're doing.
But there still was a really good story.
There's still, it's
the
in
story
there,
was
but
all about, I mean, Sausage Party, you're hitting all the right notes here. I think that the crux of the movie is about belief and faith. Which is
weird.
Not what I expected at all.
It's like
from
there's
this
a bunch
movie.
of food and they're fucking each other, but also there's religious overtones. Like,
okay, you're putting a lot of emphasis on the food orgy scene here. You're putting a lot.
It's not just that, okay? It's throughout the whole thing. They're like, we're gonna have a taco and it's a lesbian. Like that's. There's so. It's just a little gratuitous.
But it's an R-rated animated comedy,
I
so
know,
it's,
but
it's
like
supposed to be gratuitous.
It starts with like hot dogs being like they're just like talking about how they're gonna fuck the buns, like opening I don't know.
Man.
I know I don't know what I expected. Everything the movie is what I'm like talking about. These are.
It sounds. I mean, you don't like the movie, which is.
I don't hate it as much as I hated it the first time, because the first time I just actively was like cringing out of my skin.
But what I'm trying to get at is that again, and I said it before. It sounds to me like the things you don't like about this movie are the things that the movie is deliberately trying to do.
Yeah, I think I was not their audience.
You're not their target audience, which is fine. What
I'm not
would you? I mean, yeah, this movie is definitely made for dudes and frat boys. This is the Seth Rogen, Evan Goldberg series of movies have been made for dudes.
Yeah,
for the most part.
Again, do not know what I expected.
Can I ask you? Because
yes.
They've made other movies. Did you like Superbad?
I'm gonna confess something that you're gonna hate. You've
never seen Superbad?
I need to, and I know that I need to, but I just somehow ended up. That came out when I was in high school, and I was just not the kind of person in high school who was like A, cool enough, or B, looked 17 enough to get into R-rated movies.
Did you like Pineapple Express?
Again, have not seen Pineapple Express. Most of these movies came out when I was like not old enough to have seen them, but I've seen just keep later stuff. I've seen.
You liked This Is the End.
I love
You already
This
brought
Is the
that
End.
up.
Yeah.
So what do you think is different about This Is the End that Sausage Party that This Is the End did for you that Sausage Party did not? Because it's again made by the same. It's written by the same people. The difference is that This Is the End was directed as well by Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg, but same point of view. There's a shitload of cum jokes. There's a bunch of weird shit going on in This Is the End. What is it, because it's food and not people?
Maybe, I don't know. I think part of it is that like This Is the End had more like I sound like such a dicky film student, but like there was just more of they stuck to the story that was going on more. Like the ending of Sausage Party, which I did not see until yesterday, because I dipped out on the end before. They were like, "Oh yeah, by the way, we're cartoons, and now we're gonna just go into the real world." Like, that felt like they just didn't know how to end it. And then like this is the end. Like they all die, which is kind of expected. Spoiler alert in case you haven't seen this movie that came out literal years ago.
This is the End is a great movie.
It's fantastic. And they're like in heaven and they're like, I can have anything I want, anything. And then it's like Backstreet Boys or NSYNC or something.
So wait, okay. So the fact that everybody dies and then
No,
they just break
okay,
out
I'm
into
not
a song
explaining
and
this well.
dance to the
I'm not
Backstreet
explaining
Boys
this well.
is totally fine.
No, I just
as a weird left turn for the movie to take, but a food
But they
orgy
all-
is not a weird. Is
Which
a
one would you rather watch?
egregious
A
left turn?
Backstreet Boys performance or an orgy?
Food orgy.
You'd rather watch that?
I think the food orgy was funnier than the Backstreet Boys performance at the end of This Is the End. I'm gonna go on a hard stance here.
I made myself watch it yesterday. I was like, I did not do this last time. I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna fucking. I made my friend watch that with me too, and he just chugged a little wine cooler. I was like, here, this is for you. I can't do this because I'm gonna keep myself sober and torture myself.
Oh yeah, that was
You
part
can
of the straight. You made your friend drink every time that you would want to drink. during
Yeah,
this
I was
movie.
like, I'm gonna watch this sober, but here's the drinking game. You drink every time I want to. Which it wasn't as much. I think watching it the second time, I felt like since it was just me and like one other person, I was like, oh, maybe I'm allowed to like laugh at this stuff now that there's not like other people that are also aggressively uncomfortable in the room with me. But
So, all right. So let me ask you this. So, if Sausage Party had been not R-rated, and if it had been, let's say it's made by Disney or Pixar instead of being a parody of Disney and Pixar movies, and it still has all of the religious undertones that this movie does, would you think you'd like this movie?
I don't. Here's the thing. It's not that the movie doesn't have funny jokes. I just thought like there's a weird kind of split sense of humor for every like dick joke. There's like a couple like really smart jokes and like
Right, but that's my
I don't
stance.
think it could have got away with not being R-rated, which is the thing. It's like I don't know if it could have happened any other way.
No, I was just about to say that's my stance too.
I don't think it could have happened any other way.
I don't think it could have happened any other way because this movie sneaks in all of that smart religious-based humor and the whole theme with the dick jokes.
Yeah, I think it needs to have something else. Like if it had just been that, it would have been a little preachy. Like it needs to have something else that's like less. I already said preachy, but like less like that. But
That's the thing.
God, I don't know what I'd fix.
The movie draws in the frat boys by making them it's like, oh, we're gonna it's a bunch of jokes about hot dogs, fucking buns.
There's a dude who's gonna do bath salts. There's a bong in the corner of this
There's
shot.
a character
that's,
that's a douche. Whoa.
His character's a little that too. That was wild.
But
Nick Kroll, great casting choice for that.
Yeah.
Not because he's a douche as a person. That wasn't like a.
But
a
his
snarky
voice was
comment.
amazing.
Oh yeah, no, that was actually a fantastic.
and our old friend Edward Norton as the bagel, Sammy Bagel Jr.
Doing a great Woody Allen impression.
Amazing Woody Allen impression. But so that
You're making me come around to this as I'm talking about it.
I know. That's my goal because I think deep down you really want to like this movie.
It's just.
But it seems it's the dissonance that's
Yeah.
getting you. It's tripping you up.
Yeah, I think that's it.
It's the dissonance between the overtly crude parts of this movie and the very smart parts of this
It
movie.
feels like you can tell it was more than one writer.
Yeah, it's 4 writers.
Yeah, which is fine, but like, I don't know.
I mean, let's look at the
Movies
Wikipedia
are allowed
page.
to have more than one writer, but I shouldn't be able to tell.
The Wikipedia page for this movie says that there was a. Let's see.
I was reading reviews for this to like see what other people were saying about it, and pretty much everyone loved it. I read a Roger Ebert review of it. I don't think it was actually by him, considering. But whoever wrote it was like, yeah, I've done drugs in the past, but this still wasn't the humor for me. And they were like, I can see how this is funny to other people, but it just wasn't. Everyone who said they didn't like it just said like, this isn't my sense of humor.
I get that. So, what can I ask is your cup of tea, comedy wise? Let's narrow it down to the past 3 years because this movie came out last year.
Yes.
So let's narrow it down. What do you think are some of the best comedies to come out? We'll widen it a little bit. Past 5 years. Like, I'm not going to put Sausage Party. I might put Sausage Party in the top 10 of the past 5 years, comedy-wise. I might. I don't know if I would. But I liked this movie a lot. I thought it was funny. It was quick-paced. It got in, it got out very nice. It never felt too long.
Yeah, it was only an hour and a half, which was...
That's perfect. Perfect amount of time.
Yeah. Most of my references are, like, TV shows, just because I...
What's your favorite comedy movie of the past handful of years? I'm just trying to get
I know.
an idea of your sense of humor.
I'm trying to... I just don't know what you...
Because I've seen your stand-up, and your stand-up is very dirty.
I know, so you'd think this would be my shit.
You think this would be up your alley.
You'd think, but, like, okay, not a huge fan of Amy Schumer. Like, I have a few friends that have like, accused her of stealing their jokes in particular, and I know that's come up. But I like Trainwreck. Like, I really enjoyed Trainwreck.
Now, I've never seen Trainwreck, so what kinds of jokes are made in that movie? Would you, if you had to boil them down?
It definitely has dirtier jokes, but like a lot of it, it's not. A lot of the jokes in Sausage Party are kind of stand-up-y now that I think about it. Like, a lot of them are, like, jokes. Like, it's not, like, a funny situation as much. I don't know. I'm trying to think of how to explain it, but, like, probably my favorite parts of Trainwreck are, like, oh, my God. I think it's LeBron, isn't it? I just remember there's a basketball player and then I don't remember any actors' names ever, but it's like basketball player and an SNL cast member.
LeBron James.
LeBron James.
One of the most famous people.
I said LeBron and then I said I don't know, so I was.
You were on.
I did
just
remember.
Give yourself the credit.
It's LeBron James and Bill Hader.
Mm-hmm.
I always confuse him and Will Forte, and I don't know why.
Bill Hader also in Sausage Party.
And yeah, I know he was Firewater, doing his best Native American impression. Which also weird that they got a white guy. Issues with that. But, yeah, no, it was like, they had, like, LeBron James interacting with Bill Hader, and, like, some of those were the funniest scenes for me. Just, like, I don't know, it's, like, drier humor, I guess.
So, if you're going to watch a movie, you would rather see something that is in that vein.
I guess.
Like, you're not going to the movies to have jokes about food fucking thrown your way.
I guess part of the
you don't want to see you don't want to go see movies to go see like lowest common denominator kind of stuff.
Yeah. Here's the connection I just made. I get so much of that at open mics. I see this. That's what it is. I probably saw that and was like, you know what? I just saw this 3 nights of the week last week. I do not need to go see other people get paid millions of dollars to do what I see. Just a bunch of dudes doing a basement every night.
All right. I mean, that's fair. I can't argue with that. I'm not going to try and argue with you on that.
But you're making me come around on it a little bit as we're talking about it, because like now I'm realizing my issues aren't as much with the movie as like I don't know. Some of it just made me surprisingly uncomfortable for who It shouldn't make me uncomfortable given how disgusting I am as a person.
Right. Well, the movie, I mean, that's the thing. The movie is, I mean, how long does that food orgy scene last?
Oh my God. Like,
very long.
Minutes. Like, way longer than you think it's going to. You think it's just going to be like, oh, they'll show, like, a couple of things, and then they'll let your brain make up whatever you want. And then they're like, no, we are going to. It's not even a montage set to music. Well, it is, but, like, they include dialogue. They don't even give you the blessing of not letting you hear it. They let you hear it. And it was weird to imagine, like, coaching the voice actors through that. Like, I'm sorry, could we just get that, could you please pretend this bagel is eating your ass a little harder? Could you get into that more?
I like this movie. Maddy doesn't like this movie. You're coming around.
I'm coming around.
But I understand your criticism of the movie. I'm gonna say that you're wrong. But
that's fair.
That's fair. I mean, I think it's very interesting to me that the movie, the reasons you don't like the movie are the exact reasons for the movie's existence.
I know. Yeah, I could have guessed I wouldn't like it just by like the log line, so I really shouldn't have been like, "Oh, let's watch this." But
it's okay.
Yeah.
I still think that it is it's totally fine that people don't like this movie because this movie is not everyone's cup of tea. Just like any comedy, you're going to find some people who aren't going to like a crude movie. They're going to want stuff that's a little bit more highbrow. This is not for people's conservative sides. And it sounds like your conservative side came out a little bit while you're watching this movie.
Did not know I had one, but this one managed to
You
find it.
You found your limit. You found your
I
red
found
line.
It. Yeah, I was like, here it is. Food fucking is my limit.
It's a good thing to know.
Yeah.
It's a good thing to know about yourself.
I learned something.
Yeah.
We all learned something about ourselves. Thanks, Seth Rogen.
Thank you, Seth Rogen. Thank you so much. Maddy, I would like to thank you for A, being the guest on the podcast today, and B, hosting me on your couch this weekend. It's been a ton of fun to be back.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for fitting on my couch, I guess.
I barely fit.
You barely fit, but you made it.
Where can my listeners find your work?
You can find me on Twitter at Hermadesty, HerMaddesty. It's a name pun, as any white girl on Twitter will have. And my Instagram at YouSoGross.
No.
Oh, yeah.
And you can find me at Diet J on Twitter and Instagram. jlightcomedy.com for show dates. I am continuing the Lips Across America tour this week. I will be in New Orleans today when this episode drops at Siberia at 9 o'clock doing the comic strip comedy and burlesque show. Tuesday night, I'm going to be doing 2 shows at the Secret Group in Houston, Texas at 8 o'clock and 10:30. Wednesday night, I will be doing Buzzkill at the Buzz Mill in Austin, Texas at 9 and Good Fight at the New Movement at 9:30. Thursday, still in Austin, 8 o'clock at Gutbusters at Hops and Grain. Friday night, I will be doing a couple spots at the Comic Strip in El Paso, Texas at 7:30 and 9:30, it looks like, or 7:30 and 10:30, excuse me. And then finally, closing out the trip at Airing It Out Live on Saturday the 11th in Tucson at the Creative Tucson Studio at 8 o'clock. So if you're around in any of those cities and you're listening, come by for one of the shows. It'll be fun.
If you're in North Carolina, I'm on the Ultimate Comic Challenge at the Idiot Box next Friday.
This Friday.
This Friday. Oh my God! Yeah. Wow.
It's coming up.
This Friday.
It's here.
This Friday at 10 p.m. By the off chance that anyone is in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Maddy, thank you so much, and I really appreciate it. You're right.
Thank you so much.
This has been Blockbusting. Guys, go see something good for a change.